NFL Draft 2025, Shedeur Sanders and the New York Giants' future. The 2025 NFL Draft has come and gone, and wow, what a rollercoaster ride it was. Some picks went exactly as expected, while others left us scratching our heads in disbelief. That's the beauty of the draft. There's always a twist that surprises even the most seasoned fans. Now that the excitement has settled, let's dive into some of the standout moments and discussions that emerged from this year's draft, brought to you by the team at the Skinny Post. First up, let's talk about Mel Kiper. During the live broadcast, he made waves by declaring that the NFL has been utterly clueless about evaluating quarterbacks for over 50 years. Talk about a bold statement. Was he really the right person to throw stones? Michael. Kiper's comments felt like they came out of nowhere. The buzz around Shedeur Sanders was already electric, especially after his unexpected drop in the draft that caught everyone off guard. When the Browns picked him in the 5th round, Kiper launched into a passionate rant, criticizing NFL scouts for their long-standing struggles in evaluating quarterback talent. It was a bit cringeworthy, to say the least, especially coming from someone many consider the godfather of draft analysis. Let's not forget, this is the same Mel Kiper who once vowed to retire if Jimmy Clausen didn't make it in the NFL. Spoiler, he didn't, and thought Jamarcus Russell would be the next John Elway. He wasn't. Plus, he even suggested Lamar Jackson switch to wide receiver to boost his chances of success. Clearly, that didn't pan out either. So, is this the beginning of the end for Kiper as a credible voice in draft analysis? It might sound dramatic, but with so many fresh faces in the draft commentary scene, some fans are already calling for Kiper to step aside next year. RJ. Honestly, I don't have a strong opinion on Kiper's outburst. It was predictable that there would be heated discussions about Sanders' fall, and Kiper certainly showed his passion. I think it's okay for him to express that he found the situation ridiculous without dismissing the entire evaluation process. After all, no one is batting 1,000 when it comes to predicting NFL talent. We all have our misses, and sometimes it's just better to admit that we don't have all the answers. In Shedeur's case, there were assumptions about his fame affecting his draft stock, but at the end of the day, it's all speculation. I would have appreciated it if Kiper had simply said, "I can't believe this is happening, and I have no logical explanation for it." Sometimes, that honesty is refreshing. Now, let's gaze into the crystal ball. Who's going to take home the Offensive Rookie of the Year award? Doug Engel of Florida Times-Union, the USA Today Network via Emain Images. RJ. There are plenty of contenders, but I'm leaning towards Travis Hunter. The Jaguars traded up to snag him, and they didn't do that for him to sit on the bench. With Trevor Lawrence looking for a bounce-back season, it just makes sense that Hunter will be a key player in their offense. I haven't seen much chatter about him potentially winning both Rookie of the Year awards, but I'm confident he'll at least snag one. Michael. As much as it pains me to say it, I think Ashton Jeanty, the new Raiders running back, is poised to take the award this year, pun intended. The Raiders secured their starting quarterback in Geno Smith, but I can already envision Pete Carroll leaning heavily on Jeanty to lead the charge. Smith will likely target tight end Brock Bowers a ton, but Jeanty's explosive play will keep the defense guessing. I can see him racking up impressive stats and winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year, just like Bowers did in 2024. And yes, I'm dreading the thought of facing Jeanty twice a year with the Chargers. It's reminiscent of when I realized Patrick Mahomes was going to be a superstar, and I had to watch him dominate the Chargers every season, after I wanted him to be last pick at number 7 instead of Mike Williams. Which team had the most impressive draft class? Michael. After the draft, many teams shared photos of their new recruits, but one class that truly caught my eye was the Seattle Seahawks. They knocked it out of the park with a group full of size and athleticism. Their first-round pick, offensive guard Gray Zabel, is a beast at 6 feet 6 inches, and a solid choice for their offensive line. They followed that up with South Carolina safety Nick Mamry, a 6 feet 3 inches, 220-pound dynamo, who wowed everyone at the NFL Combine. On day 2, they added Miami tight end Elijah Arroyo and Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe, 2 players with incredible athleticism and playmaking skills. Even though the Seahawks don't necessarily need a quarterback, I can see their offensive minds finding a way to utilize Milroe effectively as a rookie. And let's not forget their 5th-round pick, Alabama fullback, a tight end Robbie Outzes, who sported the best mustache at the NFL Combine. This draft class has so much potential. After being the only 10-win team to miss the playoffs in 2024, the Seahawks are going to be fired up to make sure that doesn't happen again. RJ. It's tough for me to admit, but I really liked what the New York Giants did this year. Sure, the Eagles and Ravens did their usual impressive work, but the Giants are finally taking steps to address the issues that have plagued them for over a decade. As a proud Arizona State Sun Devil, it stings to know that Cam Scatterbo will be running against my Dallas Cowboys twice a year. However, the Giants are building a solid core of young offensive talent with Scatterbo, quarterback Jackson Dart, and the addition of Abdul Carter, who could make life easier for Kayvon Thibodeau. It's easy for teams like the Eagles to maintain their elite status, but seeing the Giants make real progress is commendable. What was the most predictable draft pick? Adam Cairns at Columbus Dispatch, a USA Today network via Emain Images. RJ. Anyone who watched the college football playoff knew Jack Sawyer was going to be a fun pick for whoever landed him. His game-winning play for Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl against Texas was legendary. It was the kind of moment that only superstar defensive players like TJ Watt can pull off, so it was only fitting that Sawyer ended up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's the kind of player who will grind it out, making him a perfect fit for the Steel City. And let's not overlook Will Howard, Sawyer's Ohio State quarterback, also landing in Pittsburgh. While we are all wondering if Aaron Rodgers will sign there, Howard could be a valuable project for the future. Michael. I completely agree about Jack Sawyer being a solid pick. But I can't help but highlight the Philadelphia Eagles, who consistently find a way to draft players who shouldn't be available when they are on the clock. This year, they snagged Alabama linebacker Jahad Campbell at number 31, even though he was projected to go between number 8 and number 15. In a draft class that lacked elite off-ball linebackers, the Eagles capitalized on the opportunity to grab the best player available at a position that's been undervalued lately. Successful teams often have a strong player in the middle, and the Eagles are no exception. They didn't even need Campbell, but they took him anyway, sticking to their philosophy of picking the best talent available. I can guarantee we'll be watching the Eagles' defense dominate this season, and wondering how they managed to draft such a talent. What are your thoughts? We'd love to hear from you. Join the conversation in the comments below.